Hi, everyone. It was a pretty mixed week overall for the stock market. There really isn't a whole lot to psychoanalyze. The Nasdaq was up 0.46% for the week. The S&P 500 was down 0.03%. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was down 0.55%, and the Russell 2000 was down 0.39%. So overall, not a great week, but it wasn't that bad. Also, you can see the Russell 2000 still finding support right around this 1100 area, isn't really breaking down from there. So as long as we can hold there, it's very possible we can bounce off that and rally higher. But you can see the 50-day moving average is starting to roll over to the 200-day moving average. So it's possible that we can only make it to the 50-day moving average for breaking back down. Nasdaq, similar situation, seems to be finding support along that 200-day moving average. A lot of big intraday reversals off that line. But still, there are no volume on the up days, as you can see on this index if you look over here. And there's nothing but big, tall red bars. I see one big, tall green bar out of the whole past 1, 2, 3 months. So not good overall. But the one thing is that our New York Stock Exchange, S&P 500, and Dow Jones Industrial Average remain under buy signals, even though it's also kind of sloppy as they are barely holding on to their uptrends. But these indexes like to sell off hard and then come back on no volume. We don't have anything really to do. I have no sell signals, no partial sell signals. On an end of day notice, these were the only stocks that seemed like moderately interesting to me. EVTC finding some big volume off of recent support, and it got that kind of in December, October area. G-Man looked good off the lows, a nice, powerful, strong volume move. But it has earnings on Monday, so obviously that's no good. And DXM, it's one to watch. It's still too early for me just because it's got just too much overhead resistance for me to really like it. But if it can base sideways for a few weeks and then start to break out, it'll be one to watch. I did watch it intraday on Friday, and we'll go over that chart in a little later, but I didn't have a play on it that I liked. We do have one end-of-day signal. AWH is an insurance company stock, $110 high-price stock, has a good dividend, decent earnings and sales growth. It's producing another pocket pivot point buy signal. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these without a pocket pivot point sell signal since February. So that is good. Weekly chart looks very bullish as it continues its uptrend. Not looking like that there's been anything wrong with this market. New York Stock Exchange stock, so we're good there. And while it's not necessarily liquid, it isn't too illiquid either. So, it doesn't mean that you can go ahead and do 2.5%. The way longs are going, I feel like I want to reduce, but if I'm wrong, I don't really care. I mean, I'm only going to risk about 2-3% at most on a 5% position. I can handle that. Waiting for the big move, but that's it for end of day signal. AWH is the only long signal, and besides that, not much. More important, I want to go over all the intraday things that I did. First off, we want to look at SUMR since it's earnings gap up in the morning. This is a stock that I watched intraday the entire week, and it has moved the entire time from about $2 to $3.24. That is a huge 75% move in a very short amount of time. Sadly, the only time that it really looked interesting to me was on the 15th when it was basing sideways at the lows here. It just didn't have enough volume for me to be excited whenever it made this move right here to go ahead and get long. So I passed up. It would have worked out as we only dipped down here to about the 262 level, and then we've continued to move higher. So if anybody played a good job, me just wasn't interested in it. Then we have ZBB. This is another one that's on watch overall. It had a Bible gap up. I can show you the daily chart. It looks great. So I'm watching this one, but it is, a little sketchy for me. It's a very highly liquid stock, even though it doesn't trade much, and that's always a red flag. It means that there's just probably too many shares on the market, and as you can see in 2013, they did a 1-for-5 split, so that is the main reason why. But I got this one on watch to see if it can't break out further on. So continue to watch in here. See how it's basing around this area right here, this 170 to 174 area. I like to see that continue, and then a bounce up breakout will go long. But ZBB's out. DXM, like I said, I'm watching it because of the daily chart, but intraday, it's just, I need to see it base sideways more. It's kind of choppily moving up, so it's not that interesting to me. Zen was a recent IPO with strong action. The buy clearly was here with the breakout at the end of the day at 3 p.m. on the 15th. I was not around, so I missed it. It continues to trend good. If you did get that move, though, around the 13.20 area, you've already got $2 in profit. So this is what I continue to work. Story stocks, new IPOs, earnings, winners. These are the only things that are moving, so I'm trying to show you here. ADEP was another one that was in play a while ago. Let's go to a 5-minute chart. But it just has not interested me at all. So with all the overhead resistance, it was a play over here on the 9th, and it tried to be a play again midweek. But ADEP was another one that was just in play that I didn't play. So moving on there, didn't see anything there. ZAG was another one. This was an earnings winner, story stock. The breakout here is what would have worked. I didn't play ZAG just because whenever I look at the daily chart, I just don't like what I see overall. It just looks too choppy overall for me. Despite this breakout here, just seemed to be too V-shaped. But still, it was on watch, but still unplayable throughout the week. Ugly reversal, so that's no longer good. Archon was one that I should have played but did not play. Right here was where the signal would have came for me after the very powerful morning spike because of earnings. Consolidated, started to move up here around 2 p.m. Just wasn't interested in it at all. Too thin of a stock. Worked for a little while, and as you can see in the morning, it was done. PTX is another one that was on watch following the earnings win, and as you can see, there's no real strong consolidation where it's flat, so it was a no-go to me. KNDI was another earnings winner, and as you can see, it just trends lower and down, lower and down. No real support. Starting to get it here, but it's already, it's pretty low. So if it can break out above this recent resistance, it might be a long play. I'll continue to watch it next week, but so far not looking good. IDN was a big winner here. I didn't play it, but others did. They were able to get the breakout here around 80 cents, 70. When did they get that one, actually? 67, and the thing went from 67 cents to 82 cents in less than an hour. Not bad at all. So IDN was one on watch, and it still is on watch, but we'll see here from just looking at you can see that it's kind of sloppy, so we'll continue to see what it wants to do. And then the two big ones, the big winners overall, IGPK. This one was given out as a short sell signal between 66 and 80 cents by our number 2 market speculator, and it's now at 8 cents. If you got it at 80 cents, it's now at 8 cents. That's a nice 90% profit in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days. Not bad. And then PGFY has been halted. This was another short sell signal around the $1 area, and it's being halted, so chances are it's going to open below 25 cents, so that's another winner. The only day trade that was played on Friday worked perfectly. QUIK, you can see right here where the breakout occurs. The first breakout on volume occurs here after a very, very tight sideways consolidation following the morning gap up. That was not my purchase. My purchase comes on this breakout, confirming the breakout, and as you can see, it worked throughout the day. Took half off at 4.05, took another quarter off at the end of the day, and we're still holding a quarter for Monday morning. And that's it. Thank you. Aloha.